So yeah, over the past year and a half, have been really fed up with politics. I'm not sure how you guys have felt, but I feel like it's just become nasty. And like just somebody who really enjoyed debating and discussing topics with other people no longer wants to get involved, just do it for all the hate. And on either side of the aisle, when you have people on the moral left who want to shred you because you don't think everything that they believe and you're not morally right, or the religious right who want to rip you up because you don't believe exactly what a 2,000-year-old book says. So you have both sides of it, and I feel like that there is something in the middle that we are refusing to reach to. So I decided this when we were looking at the topics. UC Berkeley, Neo Yiannopoulos was just going to speak. He was going to speak with a club, I believe it was. And there were riots and death threats on his life because he wanted to go speak there. And that's not right. When you cause almost $150,000 worth of damage and run a man off your campus for wanting to talk about and discuss something, that's not how you discuss and debate. In the New York subway system, just a couple of days later, somebody went through the subway system, putting neo-Nazism written all across, from Nazi symbols to a sign here saying on the map saying Jews belong in the oven. This isn't the 1950s or 40s. This is a month and a half ago. So this is stuff that's not far off, and it's here. And so this is how we are trying to discuss and convey our opinions anymore is wrong. So the first thing I have to say is that we had to start debating face to face and get off of social media. Because when you sit behind a computer, you become much more like you are able to focus in on what you want. You can set up your profile to be surrounded with people you like and similar ideas, and not be exposed to opposing ideas. Pew Research Center showed how online you can pick and choose who you talk to. In doing so, you get one-sided information instead of getting multiple sides. In a different study, they showed that Twitter and Facebook users are less likely to share their opinions in face-to-face conversations. This was in relation to Snowden back in 2014, how they wouldn't want to talk about it online, but when they would talk face-to-face, I got that backwards. So like online, they were all about talking about how their rights are, like how they're able to go across, but when just bashing the other side, but when they want to talk face-to-face, they became very quiet. They didn't want to discuss it. So using that barrier of social media has created people to become very one-sided on either side, and causing people to dig their feet into the ground on what they believe and refusal to listen across. Secondly, we have to find common ground. Find something that we can relate to and hold together as human beings. In just this past year, Bernie Sanders went to Liberty University. We kind of talked about this a little bit. Went to Liberty University and talked to the group of students there. Liberty University is about an hour and a half, or it's about an hour and a half from where I live, so I'm very familiar with the area. It's a very conservative area. It's a very conservative school. And he went in, just him being able to go out there speaks a lot of not going to your main, going to some place where he feels very different. His views are very different. And he went in there and says, he quoted, getting your political differences out of the way with a friend to help you to find common ground, especially when a subject is approached from a place of mutual respect. So trying to find a place where you guys can just respect each other, find something that you believe in when you are discussing a topic. So then at the end of the day, you can have that relationship with it. Back in the 50s, and what they say now is that politics has become, like even our Senate and House, the federal forms of government has become so politicized, so polarized. And people ask, why wasn't that before, or was it before? But when you look back in the 70s, the 80s, or even earlier, those people had something in common. A lot of them were war vets. So after the day of debating, after debating and going across the aisle, they could go to each other and say, hey, let's go grab a beer. Let's go out and have some time to talk and go tell stories that they share. and be able to relate to one another. And anymore today, we don't have that. And finally, we have to stop resorting to insults and disgust with others. I believe it was the Secretary of Education, I cannot remember her name, was being put into place. Elizabeth Warren was very much against it. She did not want her being put in place, and she started filibustering the Senate to prevent the vote. Mitch McConnell, who is the Senate Majority Leader, shut her down, belittled her, made her feel very small, and the whole Democratic Party very small, which was not right because she was exercising her rights. That's something that she has her chance, and he made her feel extremely small in that. In response to that, Marco Rubio came out immediately after and said, "This is not right. We cannot be able to debate." Marco Rubio, as you guys know, was a Republican candidate for presidency up until about July of 2016 or so, when he backed down. And he came in and quote within about 45 minutes after this incident and said, "Here we are from both sides." In speech here this is what I hear from both sides. Immediately, as soon as one side offers an idea, the other side, the other side says, "The only reason you say that is because you do not care for poor people. Because you only care about rich people. You're this, you're that, you're the other." We are reaching a point in the Republic where we do not get to solve the simplest issues because everyone is putting themselves in the corner where everybody hates everybody. So what we are doing on the federal level is not productive, and that is leading down to what we do on a day-to-day level. How we try to, from all sides, we all try to victimize ourselves, push ourselves into a corner, and make it seem like we are the victim of all the world's problems. So we resort to insults, saying that you're wrong, you're racist, you're whatever, and are not willing to debate and discuss. So in summary, some of the stuff has been polarized by 24 news outlets, Facebook, colleges do it by classes, and it needs to stop. Doing that is pushing us farther and farther away from each other and refusing to reach a point where we can discuss. In conclusion, we need to stop being set on one side of the political spectrum. It is time to stop being social media warriors and stop sharing what Occupy Democrats or Floyd Rivers have to post on Facebook or Twitter. But we have to go out and interact with each other and find something that we can agree with. Jimmy Kimmel said at the Oscars, in one of his points, he said, "If we would take 1 minute and reach out to one person we disagree with, somebody you like, and have a positive, considerate conversation, not as liberals or conservatives, but as Americans. If we do that, we can make America great again." Thank you.